I want to invite you to let this sink in. I don't fight the feeling. I don't become the feeling or let it dictate my life. I simply hold space for this feeling. And if you can do that, feelings will no longer feel like a war against yourself, trying to stuff them down or away or get rid of them. When you're able to cultivate this space in yourself of loving awareness, you can really start to effectively move through emotions and not let them get stuck in your body and, recycling them. Because I had a big fear of simply just feeling my feelings, because I thought if I felt this feeling, that would mean I would just get stuck in it. So I might as well just shove it off to the side and not worry about it and just be calm and present and avoid it. And there's a balance. The key is to not let any feeling dictate your life. So if you're afraid of it, it's essentially dictating your life. If you're afraid to face it, it has control over you. And also if you totally indulge in it and recycle it, it also has a control over you. So it's like, how do we find the balance of not avoiding the pain and not getting sucked into its story? And to me, the answer is holding loving space within yourself. It's this practice of becoming loving awareness, letting the feeling be there, but not being run by its story, right? Because here's the thing. When you hold space for someone, when, they're having a negative feeling come up and they're sad or they're upset about something in any way, are you really concerned that you're going to absorb all of their upset? Like, you're going to become just as upset as they are? Or do you, if you're empathetic enough, you just want to hold space and let them feel through it and be there for them, right? You're not really worried about taking in what they're feeling. You just want to be there for them and say, yeah, it's okay. Like, you feel this. Like, let's move through this together. It's easy to do that with a friend. At least I found it easy to do it with other people. But when it comes to having these feelings come up within yourself, it seems sometimes it can be a different game, because you're so close to yourself. It's sometimes hard to navigate through it. And that's why things like meditation exist, because people are so confused on all these thoughts and feelings that arise in their mind, and we aren't really taught how to manage emotions in school, or most of us growing up don't really have that luxury. But when a feeling arises in yourself, it's usually easy to get stuck in the fix-it mode of like, okay, this feeling comes up, I have to fix it so I can, be productive in life and get this out of the way. It's a lot of the times it's a form of suppression, instead of really letting it come up and being that loving space for yourself that I'm talking about here. So it's really a balancing act of, letting the feeling come up and not getting stuck in the story, like I've been saying. And so when you stay in that space of being the loving, aware presence of it, it's like you're that friend, that other person being there for the one going through the upset. You have that capacity to do that within yourself. For me, it's taking a lot of practice to get to that state, but I know it is a real thing, because we have this, like I've showed in previous videos, we have this sense of awareness of, there is a part of me that is aware of this feeling coming up, and it is possible to sit with this feeling without absorbing into the story, because I am aware of the feeling. Like, I am that presence aware of these feelings. And that doesn't mean to shove them away. It means to, just keep them into this loving space for them to be felt and get this charge out of the body, or else it just gets stuffed back down, right? For me, it was years of, like I've been saying here, the fear of being seen. Every time, that comes up, I would just stuff it back down of like, no, I don't know how to face this. Like, this is too much. But when I showed in my first video of me stepping into that, of like, okay, let this fear come up. I'm going to hold space for it, and I'm going to try to move through it as gently as possible. And I'm still moving through it, of course. But the point is, I didn't stuff it back down and avoid it and like, no, this is too much. It's a process of letting it come up and sitting with it, not getting involved in the story. In my case, the story was, who are you to be seen? Like, stay safe, stay away. Like, don't go in the spotlight. Like, don't let yourself be seen like this. It's dangerous. But instead I can go, okay, there's a part of me that thinks that's dangerous. I'm going to bring that into the light and hold it like compassionately, empathetically. But I'm not going to stuff that back down. I'm going to gently show the part that this is okay to be seen like this. It's okay that this fear is coming up. Like, it's holding that space of loving awareness. That's really the balancing act I'm trying to articulate here, of letting the feeling arise while you stay as the loving, aware presence of it. Just like you would do with someone going through something difficult. It's really the same practice, right? It's that process. I don't fight the feeling. I don't become the feeling or let it dictate my life. I simply hold loving space for the feeling, right? With the fear of letting seen example, I don't fight that feeling. I want to do these videos. I want to be more open and be more social and presentable. I'm not going to stuff that back down because clearly it keeps coming up and it wants to be seen in some way. It doesn't mean I have to make these videos. The first step is just stop fighting it. And I'm not going to become the feeling or let it dictate my life. I'm not going to become this fearful person my whole life. I'm not going to let it dictate my life and go, oh, no, can't be seen, got to stuff that away, got to go back, staying small. That's also not very loving to myself, to be honest. The center is I simply hold loving space for the feeling, which I think I explained and kind of went through the first video I did, was like explaining how like I'm scared to do this, but I'm holding loving space for the feeling. And so I think this is an applicable kind of framework to do with really anything that arises, of not fighting the feeling, not being afraid of it and feeling that you're going to become this feeling for the rest of your life, like catastrophizing it in your mind or letting it dictate your life. It's just that ability to hold loving space for the feeling. It's just being grounded with whatever arises, being present with whatever is arising in the mind, in the body, and in your environment, really. Because this state of loving awareness is a much more powerful energy than the negative feeling itself. It has that ability to really like depolarize the energy of what's coming up, whether it's fear, sadness, or anger. The loving presence you can give yourself is so much more powerful than that state, right? It's like when a child comes to the parent when it has an issue, when it's upset, when the child, he or she, comes to the parent and says how they are, so upset about something, and then the parent doesn't buy into their story and go, oh no, Billy, like, you're right, you should be afraid of that person, you should be scared, you should be worried. It's like the parent has such a more grounded and aware framework of reality that says, okay, come here, Billy. Come into my arms. Like, let me hold you. Like, it's okay. It's right. That energy of the parent, the loving parent in this example, is such a more powerful energy than the upset that the child is feeling. And this is the same process that can happen internally. It's really the same idea, just within your own self. It's all about simply holding loving space for the feelings that arise without identifying with them. Just one more time. I don't fight the feeling. I don't become the feeling or let it dictate my life. I simply hold loving space for the feeling.